In our next segment of the program, we're going to talk about the issues that are brought on by this new internet data revolution in the area of privacy. And the reason I wanted to have this segment of the program is because I've been somewhat worried lately by the announcements that I've seen in the press of various political figures going after well-known internet companies on the basis of certain kinds of privacy mistakes, so to speak. And I'm really worried because it's so important when we enter a new technological era to realize that there will be mistakes. When Facebook changes their privacy settings and people get upset, Facebook learns from that. When Google accidentally captures Wi-Fi packets when they're doing their scanning for to help their location services, that was clearly a mistake. But mistakes happen. And it really worries me when we see this rush to criminalize mistakes as we are starting to enter a new world that we don't fully understand. And so I want to paint a very brief picture for you of that world and that context that we so desperately need to think about when we think about issues like privacy. And then we'll be followed by a panel and a speaker who are going to drill a little deeper on the policy front. But I want you to think for a minute about the world of the mobile phone. When you have your phone, it is always reporting your location to someone. Whether or not you're using an application like Google Maps, certainly when you're using Google Maps and you're walking along, for example, using walking directions and it's showing your location on the map, that means that Google knows where you are. It's not just when you publish your location with Foursquare, but it's not only Google who knows where you are, it's your phone carrier who knows where you are. Right? It's potentially any number of applications that are loaded on the phone that know where you are. Now, you have given up that little bit of privacy because there is real utility. It's fabulous to say, I did use this last night when I was going out to Dick O'Neill's house and the cab driver didn't know the way. And I could look and I say, where am I on this route? And I'd say, no, it's another half mile down the road. You got off the freeway earlier than you should have, and so the turn isn't coming up yet. That's utility. And I, as an individual, am willingly giving up some aspect of my privacy in return for that benefit. And I don't think we've come to the end of understanding the trade-offs that we're going to have to make between utility and privacy. And it's really, really important for us to give room for the market to explore, to understand the potential before we start regulating, before we start thinking about what could go wrong. It's so easy to cut off a new technology before we're ready to understand it, before it's ready to achieve its potential. And so I really want people to think deeply about the future of data and the internet and the value that we get from openness, from sharing. And eventually we'll figure out what the possible harms are. And then we can start to address those harms. But let's not have a knee-jerk reaction where we start with the fear, with the worries that are based on an old understanding of how we present ourselves to the world. And instead, let's explore this new world of network data awareness and then start to understand what could go wrong and how we might want to address it.